Welcome back to the channel and Sandustry, the game where we turn kitty litter into money. Alright. Okay, so I've decided to accidentally press on new game. Jack nabbit. Alright, so I've decided to record this episode back to back with the previous one, because once I start this game I just don't want to stop. I love this game. Okay, so now we need to build a little factory to filter and process sand. Okay, so I'm going to start with a base right over here. I'm going to take this all the way. Okay, now what I want to do is, I know there's water down here somewhere and it's going to come out here, so I want to catch that water. That is going to be filtering out here the same way we did on the other side. I know this is boring, but it needs to happen. Alright, so there we go. Okay, I'll fast forward this for you guys, okay? But I need to measure where the edge of the sky is. Alright, so I just built this little piece over here to catch any steam that comes up this way. Because we will be pumping that to the other section. I've got an idea what I want to do with the water there. I haven't done it before, but I'm gonna try it. Right, so this then goes all the way over here. Okay. So, what do we need first of all? We need to filter. We're gonna have, let me see. So we're gonna have the sand come up here, as close as we can over here, because we don't want it to go that way. So let's get, I'm gonna do this. 3 lifters up. We might need to take it higher. Because any sand that falls down here needs to be traveled along. Because I like to do my filtering from the left, so I want to move all the material. I actually just want them to be too high. I move all my material to the left and then I start processing it over there. So I'm gonna copy this all the way along. And you guys are gonna figure this out with me. Okay, from here we want it to go up diagonally. I can just actually copy this over here. This. Go about here. Oh, why doesn't it want to go that way? Okay, then I should probably start from here. There we go. Alright. So now we know it's going to come all the way this way. This is going to be sand and wet sand, and I'm going to be sending this way. So, we do need a filter that will allow sand through. We're going to have to give it, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 blocks headspace if a lot comes through. Right, so let's start from 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's start here. Right, so sorry, just cleaning my mouse pad. Got some crumbs on it. We're gonna take it all the way over here. Then we want to allow wet sand, because sand should have been filtered all the way. We're gonna give it a little bit there. Then I'm gonna go sand again, just in case. Allow sand through, then allow wet sand at the end again. Right, that's as far as I am going to go. Yes, sir. Okay. So that should then allow all the sand and wet sand to fall down through the filter and then get carried along, because we're going to process sand over there. Then what else do we want to filter through? Okay, so we've seen snow. There is snow at the bottom. We've seen snow. So what I want to do is I want to collect the snow in here, so that if I've got a heap of snow, I can just use the flamethrower and that will come up over here and go towards the water collector on top. Now I want to do this. And let's give it some more headroom, like so. Okay, let me see. Actually, not that much. Sorry, my bad. So let's put another 3. How big is this? It's gonna go all the way to there. Right, so we're gonna have one over here. Yay tall, and one over there. Okay. And this is gonna be block snow. Because I want snow to come all the way over here. We want snow to drop in here. Okay, so we are going to have to move this. Not a problem. Just move it up over. It's not going to be too much snow, so we can. I say let's take it from here. I would say. Just need it. See this? We need to catch steam. It comes up here, so it's going to have to be from here. We have to do this. And move it along. Now it looks like I'm building crazy, but I'm figuring it out as I'm going along on what I want to do. No, the auto saving always does that. Pick it up a couple of blocks, move it along. Alright, so any steam that comes out here or anything burned from here or there will be caught up here and moved along to the top. Alright, so that's going to block snow. Alright, so we actually need to lift these higher. Snow doesn't need so much headroom. When I say headroom is because I'm just thinking, if a lot gets piled on here, sometimes it will go through the next floor and it will start moving along that way. Alright, so then We are going to say block. What are we gonna get from the bottom? Let me think. So far we've got snow. And what was it? Red sand. That's it. Okay, so now we need to block red sand. So we can move that along. I don't know until where. But let's just do that for now. Okay. So that's the filters we know we're gonna need. We're gonna need to get sand and wet sand through here to move it along. We are gonna have to get the snow that falls through here to come over here, and then the red sand is gonna come along. Alright, so that's as far as we know what we found underneath the ground. Okay, so let's move this up all the way. All the way. Okay. Like so. Alright. Are going to not need to do that. Come on. My mistake. This. Like this. How high do we want to go? Well, I think we just go all the way to the top. Let's use as much real estate as we've got. We don't want right against this because it will shoot particles right against the roof here and it will just fall on the second one. So let's get it give it some space to breathe. This and alright, so the sand is gonna come all the way up here. Now, how are we going to build? I haven't actually built it before. Usually I will build a huge pool over here where water falls in, but it's usually bigger, way bigger, and then the sand drops in there. It's just a pool of water and I will send it along, but it uses so much of my reserve water that I'm thinking of doing something else. I want to make it a little bit smaller. So I am thinking, let me see, just give me a sec, let me think about this. Okay, so we want the sand to come through, fall in a little pool of water. But what if a lot of sand comes through? Well, we want it to move along as it gets. Okay, I think I've got it. Did I open pipes? Let me see. Yes, we did. Okay, so we got liquid vents, we got pumps, and we got pipes. I'm thinking, let's make a shallow pool. About yay long. Let's not use more than this. Let's try not use more than this. Okay, sand's gonna come through. We need to move that sand along. Alright, oops. Then I need, let's do this because we need to block it off so we can actually get water in here. Shall we make it a little bit longer? I think yes. Let's have it because we just need maybe 2 blocks space. I think that's all we need. Let's see how it works. Let's see how it works. We are gonna have to test it though. Okay, gonna have to block this. Don't need that. I'll show you now what I'm doing. And then we need a Do we need a pump? Because I'm thinking of letting water drip down here. This will fill up the pool, but if more water comes, it will start running over the edge. So we're gonna need a pump down here. Okay, let's see how it works. We're gonna need, this is gonna be so much water. Let's just use 4 to wet it as it comes down here. Let's put in a pump to pump some of the water through. Let's see how much it 1, 2, 3. 1. See, the reason I'm thinking is because we want to do this in a. What if a lot of sand comes through? There is going to be some dry bits going to come, still get through. We'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. We don't want that. There we go. I think I need to move this down 1 more. There we go. Because we're gonna put another pump in there. I know I'm making this complicated, but it's the only thing I can think of now instead of having one big pool of water that we don't want. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna pump let's pump water from that side, because on the other side we're gonna be collecting the most water. Alright. So we need to pump water this way. And then what we'll do is you will pump water from here with the pipes. Connecting pipes down here, okay, down here, connect those. So this will pump water down here, then this will pump water down here. It's not going to be sufficient though, I'm thinking. Let's remove this. I have to do the same over here. Get a pipe going from these to these, and then we'll just do it that way. Pump the water all the way down. If this overflows, it will start filling up this, and vice versa. It will just carry on. So I am going to copy this along like so. Alright, and then we copy this along over here. Do need the pins over here. Forgot about those. Alright, I think that should be enough. Maybe 2 more. Maybe 2 more. I think also we are going to just put this 1 more. I just want to move it 1 more down. There we go. Now I can move this up over here. Alright, so let me copy this one again. And we'll just copy this one again. Let me copy this. I think what I'll do is I'll copy it over here. Right, and then we'll move this. There we go. Copy this again. I think that should be enough. I think so. Then what we do is we put a allow. No. Just give me a second. Let me think about this quickly. Okay, so we don't need these. Oh, we don't need. We do need these, I think. Yes, we still need these. What we'll do is the excess water we'll just recycle through this way. So any excess water gets pushed through to the top again. So we'll just cycle the water through. Alright, now I just want to make sure everything's got pipes. I know those have. Okay, good stuff. Now what we do is we block. Let's say we block wet sand, right over here. Block wet sand because we want to take that back up. Then we'll make a little piece over here. That's as far as I got. We block wet sand. Okay, then we want the sand to come back into the system. So we want the sand to fall through over here, and we'll just make it fall in here and go up again. Alright, good. Then I'm thinking if this becomes so full of water it actually starts falling down here, we need to catch it. In its own little container. Then we do block sand over here, let that fall to the edge, and then we do pumps. This should pump any water quick, because that's a lot of pumps. Pump it to this pipe, it's going up anyways. There we go. Then the sand will fall down here. Like so. We can do a little molding over here just to make this look not so empty. There we go. Excellent. Alright, then what's gonna happen is the wet sand's gonna come over here. We're gonna take it up here. How high do we want to take it? Do we want to take it this high? No, we don't. Let's just take it up here. I think we're just going to use two. Right. I'll copy this over. such. Block this off. Actually, okay, and then what we do is, yes. Now, we get our shakers. Shake, 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 shaker. Because this is where we're going to be processing the wet sand. I'm going to put shakers along like so. All right. Now we're gonna have slag and wet sand all over this. So what we do is we say we block gold. Let's give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's give it some headroom as well. Moving this way. Block gold. Right, then all the gold will be lifted up here. Let's take the gold all the way to the top. Top. Alright, and we'll move the gold then along. From there to here, all the way, all the way, all the way.
While you move with Spotify Premium.
Excellent, and we'll move it along with these.
Wherever you go, just download and go to listen offline. Get 3 free months before it ends. Cancel anytime. Tap the banner to
Hope
learn
this
more.
works, because I'm building this whole system without testing it. And if it doesn't work, it's back to the drawing board. But we'll see it in action just in a sec. Well, not a sec, in a couple of minutes. We'll test it out, don't worry. We'll test it out and see how our planning skills are. Excellent. Okay, now what to do with the slag? Okay, so the slag is gonna fall through here. And then we'll just collect it over here. Okay, then what we're gonna do is say allow only burn slag through. There we go. That seems sound. What you guys think? I think so. Okay, now we're gonna need to get water over here. So we are needing liquid. So we're gonna get pipes. We already got pipes in here. Let's connect it to there. Take it along here so we don't lose sight of it. And I'm going to take this through all the way to the other side. Like so. Alright. So this is going to pump water all the way over there. I'm just gonna block this off for a second. Let's go get some steam. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I'm gonna be pulling my steam from over here. Let's vaporize all this water. Alright, let's head back to the top quick. Okay, so I want to release this so it comes down here. And then, alright, to see how this is going to work, I am going to use the pipe remover and remove a section of pipe over here. Then head back and then release the steam. Alright, so we're back to this side. Let me release the beast. Just release this whole thing over here. There we go. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen. And I still bloody did it. Was there something wrong with me? Okay, let me just do that. It's funny this again. Okay. Alright, so we're getting our water now. So there's enough now in there. That's gonna fill up. Alright, so this is a lot of back and forth, but I just want to show you guys as it is happening. Alright, there we go. Now it's raining, man. Okay, so now the water is coming down. I think I should just do this. There we go. Okay, it's pumping. Oh, it is pumping way too much over here. But remember, we are going to have wet sand coming through. So let's just see if this works. This is a great test for when it starts. Okay, this isn't doing anything. So that means the pipes didn't copy over. Here we go. Same over here. Pipes didn't copy over. Also over here, pipes didn't copy over. And there we go. Make sure this pipe is through. Okay, so now this will pump the water back this way. Okay, so it's not overflow. Oh, it is overflowing now. And then if water comes down here, it will drop in here and this will suck it all the way up again. Okay, so that cycle works. It does look like it's going to work. Okay, so that's leveled out. Okay, so that cycle is doing its job. Now we need to get some sand up here. Let's go get us some sand and we can see if this works as well. Alright, so we've got wet sand and normal sand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move... Let's just move all this over here. I'll do this by hand quickly. Get some wet sand. Let's make this wet sand. Let's get some sand in there. And we can fully test this out. Okay, so I don't want everything to be wet sand. So let me drop this down. That. And that. So we can get both sands to come through. Alright, okay, give me a second because I've got an idea. I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so what I did is I got some snow up here. I actually went to go and fetch some red sand. As you can see, the red sand is way heavier than anything else. So we can't even mix this up. Alright. So we can test the 4 things that we've set filters through. Okay, so I'm going to extend this over here. I'm going to block this off eventually. Might as well do it now. And let's move all this over here as well. Get a nice big heap. got everything mixed. Alright, then we are going to need this. I just want to, this corner I want to block off. This corner makes it tricky. Alright, then we're going to copy these along. What am I doing? Let that couple of bits go. I'm going to follow the majority of it anyways. Just planning ahead quickly. Go. Don't want anything falling down there. Then let's copy this down. And copy this down. That grabs everything. Alright, let's follow this whole heap. Alright, so sand's coming through. We've got wet sand and we've got snow at the top. No red sand yet. Okay, we've got some sand. See some sand still there. But we'll see how it goes at the next filters. There we've got some red sand coming through as well. Alright. Now the wet sand's falling down. Go wet sand, go. Go wet sand, go. Okay. Got our nice mixtures. Okay, so the next section, sand will have to be filtered through again. Let's see what happens as the wet sand falls through here. This blocks snow, so sand will fall through. This blocks red sand, so sand will fall through, and wet sand again. So they'll fall through onto this again. Okay, so there the sand goes. So that's working. Alright, I'm gonna block this so we can see if that section works. Let's just go follow the sand and the wet sand. Let's see what's happening. Alright, this looks like it's working. Sand's becoming wet sand. There we go, you see wet sand all the way. No sand falling through yet. Nice, there the gold goes. And we've got the slag falling through. Gold's falling through all the way. Excellent, we're starting to collect slag here at the bottom. Okay, cool, that's working. Awesome guys, this is working. Now let's see the gold. Gold is going through. I think just for our pleasure, just take out this and we'll follow the gold in a sec. Okay, so all the sands come through. This is working nicely. Excellent. See the extra water coming through, getting sucked up by these pumps and being pushed all the way through, all the way to the top again. Alright. And the slag will slowly be filtered through. Good stuff. Excellent. We have to test this with a heap of sand. A heap. See what happens. Alright, so let's see if we allow this through. The snow and the red sand. Okay, some more sand coming through. Good stuff. Snow is getting filtered through and blocked. Some snows come through, that's why we've got ice. while we wait for that, okay, wait, let's just see what the red sand does. Okay, red sand's getting blocked. Good, good, good. Nicely done. Okay, next we should do this. There we go. Alright, I'm happy with that. While we wait for the snow, let me just get this water out the way. This is supposed to be our snow pit. Let's see, is everything being caught? Yes, everything is being caught. And moved along slowly. Okay, snow's still coming. Get that melted. Let's get this whole pit vaporized. I only want snow in here. I don't want any water. Is that it? That's it. Excellent. Snow should be close. Yes, it is. Come on. Good. And our snow is dropping. Okay, now we got a snow pit. Good stuff. Alright, okay, now, why do we have water coming through here? Where's the water coming from? There's no water supposed to be coming through here. Oh, wow, okay. This isn't working. And I just noticed this isn't helping anything. This needs to be up here. Same as this. Same as this. Okay, so now we've got a problem. Let me do this. See if I can remedy this situation. Now we've got 4 pumps pumping out the water from 3. That should work. Let me see if I just make it 2. We'll put one over there. I'll put one over here. It looks like it stopped it from overflowing. I would have thought the water would have run down here when it starts getting too high. I think I should move this as well anyways. Move this over here. There we go. Because I saw some pieces of sand hitting the, what's it called? The liquid vents and then falling down here. Okay, so that looks like it's cured that situation. Alright. Only problem is this becomes too full. We are gonna need to start pumping this out somewhere else. Okay, so that's running smoothly now. Got that set up. Brilliant. Now, time's running high. Next episode we're going to set up a kinetic press. What's it called? A kinetic slag press. And then we're going to split the gold and the spores again, so that we know what's happening. Okay, but first of all, let's just, I'm going to set up something quickly for us, and I'll be back in a sec. Alright, what I've got set up for us here is this little box full of wet sand and sand. And we're going to see what happens when we move this whole thing along. Alright, so I'm going to open it up here from the bottom. And let's see what happens. Alright, let's go. Okay, I see what's happening. This isn't working, so I'm gonna put here, let's say, only allow red sand. Red sand's not gonna come through here, so we're gonna replace that. That makes the water easier to flow through. Same with this, same with that, same with this, and same with that, and over here. Why red sand would you fall in there? Right, so now we are getting a blockage. We are getting a blockage. Let's just let it run and see what happens. It's the only way to test something. Push it to its limits. Okay, now I see water isn't getting through here. So what we do is we take the filter again. Let's say red sand again. Place it here, 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 here. Okay, now the wet sand should not be going in there. Oh, it still does. Because I wanted a little pipeline here for the water. Okay. And we're probably just gonna have to say block wet sand. Let's see. Okay, it does block it as well. And that allows the water to go through. If it doesn't heap up over here. I just wanted to see what happens if we get a load of sand coming through. Okay, so that cleared up. Just get the wet sand out of this. Okay, so the best would be actually to say block wet sand. So we don't get blockages, we allow the water to come through. Right. We'll probably have to do another test, but that is going to be in the next video. Let's see how... Oh, we got a big pile, so the next video we definitely need to take care of the slag. Yep, definitely. Alright, thank you guys for watching, really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one.